Sometimes it might cause a phone call, gesture warning, and you have to look up the phone number. Who the heck is this? Ah, fatty again. Have you had lunch yet? I can buy you lunch. Not dinner. Lunch. Just, guys networking. And then, of course, there are some kind of compliment, exaggerated to a level of a compliment of people that are dedicated in some of the industries. And for example, I have met the K word of particular seasoning ingredients, and I tested him once. I said the pricing and the storage is not the most ideal. Let's try the logistics and see what other people might do with it. Who is more preserving amount? Yeah. Next, I had studied underworld description of narcotics, and that's the responsibility of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Bureau in the United States. Prostitutions, I hate that. Don't play with my heart. I lose my heartbeat. I can't think too well. Prostitutions and gambling. Gambling is the responsibilities of Las Vegas Gambling Association of some kind. The official title is not often in printing, but I also, ask me anything about America, I can give it to you. For example, Vegas. Vegas was developed as a destination for the grand presentation of scenery, man-made, somewhat like the Mirage, by the work of that particular ethnicity and racial group, and actually a national of investment later on, when the results and presentation, all from what? My study earlier in the tape, colonization. So first, the water pipes into Las Vegas, and then the electricity. And that's how Las Vegas started back in the 1940s, 1950s, 1950s, 1960s. And Las Vegas, capital city is Reno, R-E-N-O. And in Las Vegas, it started with the strip as in the car driving roads. The most famous casino was the Flamingos, where they have the ladies kicking up the legs, with the feather, somewhat like the peacocks. And to us, younger generations, and later generation, listening to these stories and just, watching the movie clips and documentary were just very inspirational. How great American cities, metropolis, can backtrack to trace the footprints of great legends. One day happened. Previous time. So without going too much into the studies and let people repeat my words about Las Vegas, I know the inside and out of casinos too. At first, the city planning of Las Vegas, was it tax-free? Nah. They moved in, they put the vaults in, gold sticks, cash, and then they issued the chips. You know, the gambling chips. First of all, I promise you, in my life, I only gambled in the casino a few times, and it's not a big number, trust me. I'm very cheap. But my security efforts and my identity going into the place, and my IDs and my car, GPS in Las Vegas, is money. And I didn't know that back then, as a youngster. And I thank them very much, very, very much. Thanks again for the great food, hospitalities, the well-presented inspirations, the grand halls and management portals, business portals, and the management structure, and just feeling safe. Nobody ever confronted me that much. Yeah. So for example, Circus Circus. Have you been to Circus Circus? MGM has an inside playgrounds for youths, and for me it was so fun because I knew what game I liked, and I always win the stuffed animals. Yeah. And Circus Circus had the acrobat, like the circus, and eventually I can connect the dots in American studies. You know how on your test there are dot 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 dot, and you have to match, or you can as a child, dot 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 dot, and then you connect the dots and you see the graphic or clip art picture. So I connected the dots. What is the modern slavery? Please, please, please let me explain before you lose your appetite for the night. For the night? For the nights? Okay. So, please, 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 let me explain. The acrobat and circus, and what's the difference between modern day slavery or having the comfort and hospitality to cultivate our creativities and writing, journals, new laws and ordinances, the rules or within organization rules. Is that there is entertainment, recreation, and then in Asia there is a word named leisure. Congregation, gathering, fun. Fun refers to funny. Funny is having unexpected plan, effort to please your stress needs. Or when they say stress, it is repetitive and fast-paced by definition. So Las Vegas, and going back to Chinese communities and city planning, and how I had studied and written out some very much to colonizations, and I joke with people sometimes. What is your major? Anthropology. Anthropology is human evolution from apes to mustache, manly looking executive, or the whole corporate ladder that we climb step by step. So it is very much a contribution that I had done, contribution that I had done here in Asia Pacific to elevate the understanding of the youths and be instantaneous ready to communicate and explain my conducts. Sometimes people think that it is boring. It is not fun. It is a joke that you have to stay inside your cubicle, enlarged, scaled, proportioned, well budgeted, off branches of my interests. They say it's a joke, or they try to, get a reply from me. Hey kids, youngsters, I don't want to brainwash you, but I love it here. I wish I would never have kids. Then I don't have to spend time budgeting my time for some kids. Just kidding, but I love children. Okay? Yeah, so something like that. And I read great stories about revolutionists and reformists, and I just throw things out there sometimes. What have you studied? When I first came back, I've seen this place, this region and territory and special administrative region governance having so many same description of political parties. I say, guess what? I'm a conservationist with my time. So that was a joke. And then I threw out vocabularies that they can look up and useful. And I made my data and speeches and mentioning had made Times Magazine cover shorter than me. Political studies achiever. And sometimes people at a young age, they're not given the credit certificates until they display and reflect a authority that can be momentarily answer phone calls and explain the conduct and take responsibilities for that crap that comes out from your mouth if it's not the same industry. Alright, so excuse me, sometimes I get very stubborn, and because, like I said, executive is authority. You can't go back on your decision sometimes, but you don't keep on throwing salt on the flame, then the flame makes bigger flames. So that's a part of my life, and when I feel stressed, I just kind of listen to music, just cook up a kosher dish, no stray meat, because they might think it is a gesture. And sometimes youngsters or young professionals, they compete and they already have aims, they have targets, and one little misunderstanding, they fight. So I'll cook up something and just eat, and just hopefully after they sleep and we whine, they can just be normal and know that keep away. You know. Yeah, keep away. Let's go back on drugs, narcotics, and prostitution and gambling. Narcotics was first introduced to me in high school as a group after class, after a whole day of school, relaxation in a mansion with basketball, hoop, tennis court. This is left hand. And I rather do sports and things, and then someone handed me a water pipe. I said no. If my lip touched that thing, it's like me kissing you F word, you know? Are you gay? So that was a fight. Yeah. And guess what? The classmate of mine had a weird habit of collecting knives, butterfly knives. Wow, scary. Yeah. So, yeah. Whoa. So, and then later on, there was another incident where I've seen people, do the GP, glass pipe, and the whole crystallized substance that they taught us in driver's ed. Do not mess with that, you can't sleep. So that was some of the police reports I have to make eventually, all at once. Yeah. Or as a witness if I was ever arrested for, the police officer new into the city wants a picture with me, as an Olympian on the same case. Yeah. So, with that said, later on I had studied the chemistry of, methamphetamines, and that is methamphetamine, and that is a upper LSD. Okay, pure LSD make you kind of your eyes have illusion and considered to be a hallucinogen, and then the meth is just so that you can't sleep, and it is a party drug in a way that a elder classman in the same school would just stop you and stop other people from talking to you until you buy another sack or another dosage. So that's drug to me. I don't need you, I have the internet. And I have studies. I have movies. I have recipes. You eat the same food once, alright, it's an assessment and test. You eat it again, ooh, you like me. See? So that's the whole narcotic scene to me. And then the gambling. Gambling is fun in a way because if you can calculate the precision of your risk, which is always against you, as smaller odds or more odds. How do you want to explain? Some culture might translate differently. So the odds are always against you. Say blackjack. You get 12. Are you going to hit? You have to. You get 17. The other guy's got 18. Are you going to hit? You have to. Actually, split. See? Or say poker. 5 cards. Or just gambling on the sports or tournaments, you know, so that you're more excited on the game watching and just scream your vocal cord to a soreness. They say scream your heart out. Scream your vocal cord to you know, kind of sound. And then gambling scenes, I think even at the casinos, I think in the casinos it is a maintenance of a certain level of commodities and manufacturing to support the industry of casinos and gaming, where there can be so much creativities generated to maintain more newer findings and creativities. It is a subculture. It is a route for investments to defer, so that mankind creations do not easily be copied, or intellectual properties be stolen usages without explaining, or without phone calls printed. There are many family stories that are told in casinos or by casinos management and customer services eventually, decades later. It is a hospitality 5-star facilities many occasions that reflect to the culture and national achievements and historical stories inspire so many mankind. So that's my channel to say that don't be afraid of Asian gangs and the previous decades stories, because the telecommunication devices and, you know, identity tagging and sorting, group them, you know, kind of pressure, and everybody respect the inside of other people. If they're not harming people, then I think it's okay. Prostitution. I think that it is nursing or hospitality, and the ones that make very immature decisions that might create a bad reputation for other adult services persons are just in need for other people to hand them down some teaching or caseloads. And a lot of the prostitutes are informants to police. And I joke around, I say, dude, I felt like I was kind of R-word, you know, molested when I was in high school. You know, girls kind of just stare at me for being a Taekwondo champ. You know? And, you know, you just have to take your mind out of the loophole and see a brighter picture, or get closer and see through the hole, you know? And the attractiveness of a lady or woman, female body, you know how, excuse me, but the big bust size and the whole S shape kind of media image of perfect bodies shaping. It is just a reflection of perfected discipline to maintain a curvy, voluptuous body with good manner, services, respecting other professionals for the half hour, 1 hour, overnight, or up to 1 month cooking you some Campbell soup. So I'm over that. $40 for some inter-exchanges known as the P word, enter me some more cases, or just a weird look like $40 just to look at you. Here, 5. You know, or strip clubs. When you're young and you celebrate your 18th birthday, your friends take you to Spearmint Rhino. It's a compliment, thoughtful, and boys would be boys, kind of. Whatever is in Vegas stays in Vegas. What are you gonna do? 18-year-old go to circus and win some stuffed animals? I know you will, so you better not. Really? Are you bigger size than me? Huh. So, that was me growing up. Yeah, I can't stop going to circus to win some stuffed animals. And they're not that big. Unlike this one. At Magic Mountain, they made that cookie for me. Yeah. What? I won that big old stuffed animal. I only won the small one for a souvenir. You know? So, that covered the narcotics, which is a work and caseload of the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearm Bureau in the United States, at the United States, within the border of the United States. And then there is the prostitutions. It is somewhat a nursing, both sides, back and forth kind of, nurturing people that might feel, I'm so ugly, I need the magic mirror. Magic mirror, magic, mirror, mirror. Am I pretty enough to earn a smile and say hello to me, like in high school? Or were my high school classmates kind of messing with my head that everybody should say hello to each other in this world? And then, gambling. I don't go against the odds. I think success is built by steps and plans and literacy and articulation skills. And then if you want to talk about counterfeits and all that, that's a whole different, just sorting of integrity, family teachings, cultural heritage, self-pride, self-confidence, your education, your representation of whatever you want to represent, your church, your temple, your Quran, or anything. So with the whole counterfeiting and stolen intellectual properties, it is your self-responsibilities. It's not even one of the more notable dedicated crime studies. Counterfeiting, printing, charcoal paper, or, you know, printing. So it's not even that. And then for the whole division of investigations of white-collar crimes, forging people's signatures, creating plots to take people's company certificates, to fake a chairman position when you can't even talk like this. Who's gonna believe you? Look on your track records. Ouch. So, no names. Alright? yet. I already reported. What else? Human trafficking. It is just overpowering some of the poor paychecks families of earlier generations' weakness to fit in, blend in to clans, to victimize young children overseas to what? Suck your toes? So, I mean, excuse me, not yours. You know, suck people's toes. I don't do that. And if I see it, I'll confront the situation by very serious routes. What else? Corruptions. Or political regimes. I think that there are people, and I say knighthoods, that are very dedicated to media and news releases and stories, where they can make instantaneous phone calls to ask their attorneys, is it safe and is it beneficial for the region to put in a good word for some of the victims, and how greedy they are. So you might see me with a golden pen. How much is that? Discounted and priced cheap. This watch, it might be, 7,000 at Rodeo Drive. Guess how long this been with me? Since 2005. It's 2018 already, 2019. I lost this watch for a few months. I made a police report. I called them up, give me my watch back, or give me some money to replace. They gave me money to replace. I bought a cheaper one because I didn't want this model first. And then, that kind of conditions that you earn the respect, that you are not trying to be lavish, you're not trying to indulge, and you're well budgeted. Every single spec, every single specifications on your books. And people snatch your accountancy books, you pay prepaid tax. This is estimated tax you